Hey guys, welcome back to Seduce Me, the Otome. Without any further ado, let's get right back to where we left off last time. Right here. Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh my. Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
What? I thought... Wouldn't it be Men in Black, though?
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious? Fine. If something happens, just call us.
I need an adult. Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Oh. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Oh God, someone died. You know what? This is horrible because, recently 3 guys at my school killed themselves. So, I just feel awful. I mean, I didn't know them personally, but I knew, one of them, one of the guys, I could put his name to his face. But I feel awful, and now that there's a fucking funeral in this, and, these things just line up so perfectly that I hate it, you know? I'm dead inside. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. Oh! Is that her grandpa? A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around the simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me, where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. Probably God damn, my dad died. Oh man, I'm so sad. You know, it's always cliche. This is such a bad cliche that whenever someone dies, it's all raining and stuff and bleh. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Ooh, that's so interesting. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Woo! I'm getting some stuff! Woo! Thank you, dead grandpa! I'm sorry. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate? At 18? That was impossible, and yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Why are you so pissed off? You're like, I wanted the estate. Meh. Meh. Fuck you, Dad.
Dear.
Yeah, she gets it. She's like, don't take this out on her.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
Oh, he wants to be chairman and CEO. Oof. Oof.
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Oh, look how mad Dad is. Oof. He's getting pissed.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Wow. 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 Oof. Oof. There's some tension there. It was too late. They should have talked, and now he can't talk to his dad anymore. They should have made up before it was too late. I'm sorry. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Why do you look so pissed?
Are you sure we should?
I'm right here.
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
He sounds so sarcastic. He's like, why not? This would be a good experience for her. Meh. He's so salty.
Honey, what do you think?
Hell yeah! I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
He sounds so salty and bitter right now. Calm down.
David.
She gets it. She gets it. You get it, Mom. You get it, Mom. You mean we cool. You me cool. We have the same wavelength. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested. I find it funny that they still have the grave as a backdrop because it looks like it's just a giant-ass grave and these people are really tiny or something.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
Do you have an accent? She's talking like this, with a lot of tongue in your mouth. You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Yeah, she's talking with a lot of tongue. She's talking with a lot of tongue, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't, because I'm talking with a little tongue. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. Well, there are flowers like everywhere around the grave, so... His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. I just realized that my character's not even wearing black. Wait, were my parents not even wearing black either? How? That is so disrespectful. Oof. Oof, that is so disrespectful. You told me to stay strong, but right now I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Like that one time. What? Long time ago. Oof. Ooh, look at you, Grandpa. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
You don't sound like a grandpa. You sound like a young man trying to sound like a grandpa. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. I don't know how young I am. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It'd always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
I wish they'd gotten a grandpa to actually voice this, because that would have made me feel better. But I know that it's just a young man trying to sound like an old man. It's not working. Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go? I baked a pie last night, and now I want some because I just mentioned dessert, and now I want it.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Ooh, yes, it's a toy.
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
No, I can't, because I'm a kid and I'm stupid. Kids are bad at making decisions. They're bad at choosing which toys they like, because they pick up one toy for a day and they're like, oh, you're my best friend, and then they find a better toy and they're like, oh, you're my new best friend, and they completely forget about the first toy they had. I was a kid once. I know this shit. I was spoiled. Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive! And it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. My dog's barking. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
I didn't hear a chuckle. Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
I want to make sex toys. Woo! Woo! No reference to the last video. Oh! God damn, I'm good. I amuse myself too much. Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
No, I don't want to. He bent down to look at me eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't need to love my dad just as equally. I mean, I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. Also, you sound a little bit like Simba. Just a tad bit. But not a good Simba, like a rip-off Simba. Knockoff Simba, yeah. I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
Daddy issues. Oh! I had heard tidbits of this from my grandmother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you.
No.
Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me, we'll stand together to get through it.
No. How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
Here and here. He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest. You're gonna be in my boobs? Ugh. Ugh. Gross.
So stay strong. Promise?
No, I don't want to. That's a big commitment. For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Whew. Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Well, you sure sound like a young man. I'm not so sure that you're really a grandpa. Your voice does not sound like it, and it's bothering me, okay? I'm sorry, but it's just ruining the experience. It's ruining the immersion. I know that that's a young guy trying to sound like an old grandpa, but it's not working because I know that it's a young guy. Now, if it was a older guy, I would be like, okay, he's a grandpa. But no, I know that's a young man. I know, I can hear. And it's sad. You willed me the very home. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave. My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see. Yeah, they wouldn't want to see your emotion or anything. Jeez.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Lasagna? I love lasagna. Don't you guys love lasagna? I do. But, this episode's gone on long enough. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Share it with your friends. And, yeah, I probably have the worst timing for ending episodes, but honestly, I mean, we've learned a lot. We learned enough in this episode, so we'll continue, okay? I promise we'll continue learning more about this thing in the next video. So, without any further ado, goodbye!